students. I hope you can hear and see me well. Today we're going to cover another lecture brief, which is going to consist of a short version of a lecture that we had previously. So let's start it. The lecture is going to be on infrastructure of restaurant and hotel businesses. I'm the lecturer, КзаТУБ-МИТ-Infrastructure, and the topic of this lecture is MEP, Maintenance Management. MEP stands for Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing Systems that are very important for the work or the function of any organization, and especially restaurants and hotels. So today we're going to skip the overview and go straightly to the lecture itself. Then at the end of the lecture, I'm going to give you an assignment. So let's start. Basically, what is MEP? MEP is an acronym which stands for Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing Systems. So basically, this is all about aspects of building, design, and construction. In commercial buildings, these elements are often designed by specialized engineering firms. That is why, even though MEP is very important and we do cover it during the lecture, this is something that is done by professionals, and we as service providers do not much go into it. So in some cases, this can cause another problem that we don't know much about it. That is why knowing it is very important. In Russian literature, we usually do not talk about MEP. We talk about mechanical, technical, and other processes that are done within the organization. But basically in English, we call it MEP. So MEP design is usually done by professionals, and a long time ago, not so long actually, ago it was done by hand. So professionals did it manually. They drew different layouts, plannings, blueprints, etc. But nowadays it is done by computer-aided design, so-called 3D modeling, and usually MEP design looks something like this. In green, you can see the system, which includes heating, water supply, and of course, electricity in some extent. So MEP components are mechanical system, of course, electrical system, and plumbing system. Mechanical system includes so-called HVAC, which is about heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. When we talk about electrical systems, we talk about electricity, so-called alternating current, and information technologies that are about IT solutions that are used in the organization, in the business, for example, in the hotel or restaurant. And plumbing stands for, of course, plumbing, basically water supply, pipes and tubes that are important for that. So let's talk about mechanical systems. So mechanical systems in the organization or in the building, usually it is about heating, again, ventilation and air conditioning. So a mechanical system incorporates the control of environmental factors that are psychometrics, either for human or for the operation of machines. What does it mean? It means that mechanical systems, even though they are mechanical and they do their job, and their goal is to make sure that human who is dealing with it feel comfortable, or machines can operate according to their technologies. Heating, cooling, ventilation, and exhaustion are all key areas to consider in the mechanical planning of a building. So the major concerns of mechanical systems are human comfort, which includes thermal comfort and indoor air quality. So air should be clean. They can use, for example, air purification systems, etc. Operation of machines. Different machines need to be cooled. They have coolers, and basically it is all about heat exchange to cool the equipment. And of course, efficiency. Efficiency means that all the things should be done in the economical way, so it does not consume too much electricity and water, and that is why I'm not going to spend too much money, so it's going to be cost effective. So heating system is about generating heat, yeah, for building, basically keeping it warm. We can use like central heating systems that are kind of common for the CIS countries, for the former Soviet Union countries, and like Western countries, especially where they have like market economy. They usually have standalone heating systems, so every business, every building is going to heat the water themselves, and they will need to spend a bit more on maintenance. In Kazakhstan, we don't have to spend that much because we have central heating. We have the organization that is basically a natural monopoly, which does that, and we kind of outsource this job. Anyways, we can have additional like heaters in order to keep our guests warm, especially if your place has an outdoor dining area, yeah, and you want to serve there even in the, late autumn, yeah, in the southern areas of Kazakhstan, or in the early autumn, yeah, so it's not too warm to dine outside. That is why you can use wall-mounted infrared like heaters, like here in the picture here. Of course, these are going to be heaters, but these heaters are going to require like steady electric flow. That is why they may be considered to be part of not just like a mechanical system, but also part of like electrical system. That is something to bear in mind. So ventilation is the process of changing or replacing air in any space to control temperature and remove any combination of moisture, odors, smoke, heat, dust, airborne bacteria, or carbon dioxide, and to replenish oxygen. So basically, this is something, I'm talking about ventilation, what became very important, especially during the corona crisis and the pandemic. So basically, nowadays, a lot of like restaurants and hotels, and especially like airplanes, airports, trying to like implement and change and make sure that they have state-of-art ventilation systems. So they're going to like clean or replace the air and make sure that the virus is not going to spread too fast. And the easiest way of kind of imagining how the ventilation system works, especially in restaurant, we have two like distinct areas. We have like dining area and we have the kitchen, and we have depending on the area, we have two different ventilation systems. When it comes to the dining area, it is kind of quite easy. We have like heating, ventilation, and air conditioning unit, which like takes outdoor air and takes the air inside and kind of replaces it with an outdoor air by cooling it, heating it, changing it, etc. We don't want to spend too much on heating. That is why the intake of air is going to be about 10% usually. And we're going to supply the air depending on the time of year. In the like winter, we're going to heat that air. During the summer, we're going to cool. In the restrooms, we usually don't have the HVAC unit. We just have an exhaust, which is going to just get the air and take it away. Regarding the kitchen is like area that is more complicated, yeah, because we have different equipment. We cook food there. We have moistures, we have odors, and we have humidity. That is why we have like industrial exhausts, yeah, that are going to take the air away from inside. Then, of course, we're going to have another system that is going to get the air inside. So we are going to have not like a very beautiful, very kind of appealing to the customer equipment. We're going to have more industrialized, basically industrial systems that are going to clear and replace the air in the kitchen. When it comes to the air conditioning system, yeah, again, we have like cooling and humidity control. Yeah, it's not about heating, it's about cooling and like humidity control. Basically, as we mentioned, typical fresh air intake is about 10% of total supply of air. When it comes to air conditioning, we should bear in mind that we have several problems due to them. Yeah, and of course they're going to be dependent on the condensation. Yeah, which will like produce some water leaks or drops of water that may fall, yeah, from the top. So from the roof, yeah, basically. So it's going to cause some like, I mean, problem maybe, or mostly some I mean, difficult situations for the waiters. Yeah, and also when we have air conditioning, we're going to have some spots that are like hot and some spots that are cold. Yeah, that is why we should know which parts of the dining area are best and which parts of dining area are not so good, which parts of dining area are cold, and etc. And ideally, we should make sure that we balance that. So every corner of the dining area is going to be as pleasant as possible. If that is not the case, then we should be able to kind of, I mean, work with that. Yeah, get the like loyal customers to the best place. Then when we have like not many guests, we should, I mean, take a guest and put him into the best place. And if we have, I mean, we don't have great available spaces, we should inform our guests in advance. So basically, we should try to make sure that our guest is not going to leave our place unhappy. When it comes to the kitchen, yeah, we have like hot cook lines, we have hood, we have smokes, we have doors, and etc. And we should make sure that like the air conditioning system will not jeopardize or will not make like flame go in an uncontrolled way. Yeah, and also we have the door. Yeah, so when we have a door, when we have a window, we're going to remember that it's going to bring an additional air flow. So electrical system. So now let's go to the electrical system. So electrical system consists of, as we said, alternating current, which is about electricity, and we have IT technology, which is about different equipment. When it comes to alternating current, yeah, when we talk about electricity, we basically talk about cables and wiring, which is of a concern of a professional, and we have then luminaries, which is all about lighting. So yeah, we have different wires, yeah, different insulations, copper wire, aluminum wire. Then these cables are usually terminated into sockets mounted to walls, floors, and ceiling. We should know where are they. So if we have, for example, water leakage, we're sure that it is not going to cause some problem with electricity, and we're not going to have fire or etc. So basically it's about safety. When we talk about luminaries, we talk about lighting, and lighting is very important in terms of like managing mood of our guests. Yeah, as we know, light, like direct lighting and kind of very bright lights, they usually kind of energize us, and the darker, more intimate ones, they're going to make us relax. For example, in the evening, there is going to be something to focus on, and during the daytime or during the noons, or just not at night but evening, maybe we will want to have a brighter lighting. Also, it depends on the type and the style of the place. For example, fast foods, they usually have a brighter spaces. Fine dinings have usually a darker, yeah, more intimate lighting, yeah, which is more mild, fast. Also, when it comes to lighting, yeah, luminaries, we should know that we have two types of lighting. We have direct lighting and indirect. Direct lighting, when a light directly is, direct to us, and when we talk about indirect lighting, basically we get it by as a reflection, yeah, from, for example, wall or the other part of the space. Information technologies, they are kind of something that is nowadays very important. From Dan Herr's model, we know that nowadays information technology, from something that was just affecting like an indirect way, nowadays it affects in a direct way. That is why, for example, MEP, which as you remember stands for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, now is kind of extended to MEP IT, which stands for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, and also information IT system. So here we have two examples. Yeah, before we end, we have two examples of restaurant technology. The first one is about POS terminals or POS systems, like place of sale. We can have handheld POS terminals. We can have like touchscreen points of sale, like terminals. We can have self-order like systems, and etc. And of course, it will require some wiring and, for example, internet in order to process payments, and etc. Here we have an example of restaurant IT solutions, yeah, that can be seen on the floor layout. The other example is the restaurant music system. Here, as you can see, they're mounted on the roof, yeah, and they can again set the mood. Yeah, we have like mild music in the lounge. You can have faster music in the fast food chains, etc. And kind of mounting them and having them like on the layout, yeah, the map is going to look like something like the previous picture here. Yeah, you can see it. Okay, so and the last one is the plumbing. Yeah, so plumbing is about water supply. Yeah, here we can see an example of it. We have cold water intake, then we have the heater, which heats water. Heated water usually goes to the kitchen, to the toilets, yeah, the dining area, and for the stuff, yeah, then we have cold water supply, which goes to the bath and to the toilets. Yeah, you can see that. And basically, plumbing is all about water supply, and of course to the kitchen. we should have the supply of water. We have laundries, yeah, here, dishwashers, and etc. So basically that's it for today. I'm going to give you an assignment now. So the first assignment is to define the following terms: mechanical system, electrical system, plumbing system. Then describe why MEP is important for the hospitality industry. Then prepare a presentation on one of the following topics: lighting in the restaurant or IT in the restaurant. Thank you for participating and being part of this lecture. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.